welcome back to the Leah Moses Entrepreneur Podcast, the podcast where you can hear all about business, self-employment, entrepreneurship, marketing, and topics of the like. Of course, today I want to speak about Bitcoin. Bitcoin has been doing some amazing things for us, and I definitely want to share in that so that you can actually make a move and be a part of this thing, this new era, this digital currency. Right? So Bitcoin, what is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is the first cryptocurrency that has been created, the first online money. So it's not physical, right? It's just digital figures on a screen, if you want to call it that. That's the simplest way I can put it. Now, why is that better than what we know as what we think about as money, which is the notes and coins? Well, the problem exists in governments today, even the United States, that holds the world reserve currency, is that governments at will print money, causing inflation. Inflation means prices rise, right? Things cost more. You can't buy the same amount of money, same amount of products or services that you could have with the same $100. Let's just use that for an example. That's what inflation does, but that's what the printing of money does. Now, in other countries, right, you have the printing of money to do all kinds of fraud, right? So you just print money and it doesn't represent true activity of goods and services being sold to generate income. And that's not the way the world works. If every country was just able to print money and it has no consequences, then there will be no point to really working, and everybody should just print some money, hand everybody, and then we live merry, right? But that's not the way this works. That's not the way economics is supposed to be. So with that printing of money, the government is in control of that, and at their will they can do that, causing a domino effect or a negative effect on many things, right? However, with cryptocurrency, let's talk Bitcoin. Bitcoin has been created by an anonymous person or group, right? We don't know, right? And the intention is to create only 21 million coins, right? Establishing scarcity, meaning that upon the mining of that 21 million BTC, right, no more can be created. So what that automatically says is that those who have and those who don't have. It's like land in the early days. Those who made a move and got the land in a good area before the prices skyrocketed, you are in a great position today to either rent it, sell it for amazing profits, or to occupy it and have the benefit of being a part of a great area, community, whatever you may call it, right? So BTC has this scarcity. Now, BTC had its trials of going through from being nothing into being the US government ruling in the court of law that it is a form of currency, right? So it has passed that test, and many first world countries accept Bitcoin for goods and services already, right? Yes, we in the Caribbean and Trinidad and Tobago aren't as widely accepting of BTC just yet, but I know we will get there. We usually get there late, especially in TNT. However, BTC is being accepted as we speak worldwide. There are Bitcoin ATMs in several states in the United States whereby you go with your phone, you scan something, and you collect fiat, that paper, if you really want it, if you really need it to do something else, right? Because there are profits to make as well, and I'll explain that in a bit. So Bitcoin will be scarce in terms of 21 million coins alone, and those who would have been investing in it, then you will be the ones with that precious asset, right? It has passed the laws. It's deemed an asset. They call it a commodity, right? We have some of the best people that analyze economies, the people who have money. Now, not everyone who are the richest people in the world are in agreement with Bitcoin, but many are agreeing and accepting it and encouraging people to get involved, and they themselves are spending billions of dollars, Elon Musk being one, investing in this cryptocurrency. Now, just as demand and supply works, the more people demand Bitcoin is the greater the price goes. If it didn't have a demand or there's a huge sell-off, the price goes down, right? But as we have been observing this coin, I did my first Bitcoin video, and I was doing it because I was excited that Bitcoin had finally hit $20,000. That was this year, right? I can't remember if it was January. Actually, no. I really can't remember when I did the first video on my Facebook page about Bitcoin hitting $20,000. But it wasn't too far away. And up to yesterday, because I really haven't checked the charts this morning, but up to yesterday, BTC was back to, it had hit 50K earlier this year, right? Earlier than expected, for one. And when I checked the chart up to yesterday, Bitcoin had been back to 50K again, looking like it's already ready. It's already waiting to go upward. More activities being done. One of the other good things is that Bitcoin, just to show how many people are involved in this, Bitcoin's market cap, you can research what market cap is, had hit $1 trillion, right? And that puts it on par with big companies such as Google, Amazon, I forgot the others, right? But you name it. These are the companies of the Facebook is a 900 and something billion dollar market cap company. So when BTC had first hit the $1 trillion market cap, it was even better than Facebook. And Facebook is a giant corporation, right? So this goes to show that market cap hitting $1 trillion. It just means in terms of all the money is invested from people and companies and whoever, added up to $1 million, right? So that's the kind of interest that's in this commodity, right? And so the prices from analysts and all who expect the coins to go to whatever price, they are still predicting that this thing can go into the six figures. It's around 50K now, but people are predicting 100,000. Some people are predicting 500,000. There are even people who are saying that Bitcoin has the potential to become $1 million for one. Now, you may be thinking, hey, Bitcoin is $50,000. I can't get into this game because I don't have 50,000 US dollars. If that's your thoughts, let me clear it up for you one time. Bitcoin can be denominated. In other words, you don't have to buy a whole coin. It's a digital thing. And just as a dollar can be broken up into 25 cents, 10 cents, 5 cents, 1 cent, you name it, BTC can be purchased in portions. So if you only have 100 US dollars or 50 US dollars or 10 US dollars and you decide you want to put that into Bitcoin, you will get the relevant fraction that $10 represents, and you can have Bitcoin. The other good news is that not only can you buy it as a fraction, but whatever percentage increase the whole coin makes, you will make it on what you have, the value you have, right? So that is great news. If BTC rises 100% from where it is now and you have $10, you will now have $20, right? So you have an extra $10 onto your original $10. So this is great news for anybody who is interested. And of course, you can always compound in terms of you have a job, you have a business, you earn income, you get revenue. You can always decide, hey, every month I'll decide to put in $20 US to purchase some BTC. I'll put in 100, or I might upgrade. I will do 1 month $10. I'll try for 20. Next month I'll do 30. And as you add that, you can put it into the same wallet if you would like, and increase your balance so that when the currency moves, you make more money, because 10% on $10 is not the same as 10% on $10,000, right? You obviously would earn more. So you can actually be a part of this thing right now. And because it is still projected to go higher, you have some time to participate in what we call the bull run. So they use two animal terms to refer to when the Bitcoin is going up, or when something is going up, versus when something is going down. So when something is going up, we call it the bull market, or we call it that the currency is bullish. When something is going down, they say it's bearish, right? It's bearish because I guess the example is that bears like to tear down stuff. So when it's going down, that's why it's referred to as a bear, versus when it's going up, you refer to it as a bull. You know how bulls operate, right? The raging bull, it's going up, you can't stop it. So that is what this is about. Now, just to bring to light why this would be important and why you still have a chance. If analysts are seeing that we are at 50K right now, and a lot of major corporations are now coming on, now investing. A lot of people are now pushing this Bitcoin thing more than in 2008 and 2009 when it was started, right? Analysts are projecting 100,000, 200,000, 500,000. If you get in today and that moves from this 50K region to 100,000 region, and your little fraction, if you don't have a whole coin, your little fraction will also move, then you have the ability to make a good bit of money in profit still, depending on how much you choose to risk and invest in, right? So if you can really, a lot of people in the past, we were so caught up thinking about real estate, invest in real estate. But we know the challenges for the average Joe to purchase a house, to get a mortgage, to get a piece of land, the kind of requirements that the banks and the credit unions would have on you. And it's a lot more difficult for the average person to duplicate such success. Similarly, if you wanted to do something in vehicles, right? We have commercial vehicles. It still requires a level of financial progress, right? And financial success to prove to the bank that you can pay this loan over time to get your fleet of vehicles or whatever. However, as I said, with Bitcoin, you can put in $10, $20, and you can over time, with the little money you get, right? You can over time put that money into keep buying until one day, you have $10,000 in your BTC wallet. That's benefiting from its movement, from its appreciation, from the bull runs, right? So just to bring it as a real example, people who would have come in on Bitcoin in 2009, specifically the ones that forgot about it, right? To this day, if they forgot it, or if they decided, hey, I'm in for the long haul, I want to keep this for 20 years, let me see where this goes, they are smiling. They are the ones who are multi-millionaires, right now from that investment, because Bitcoin started, right, less than 10 cents in 2008. It was worth nothing. It started trading publicly in 2009, right? And so you had that time when Bitcoin was $10. And there are people who threw in money when it was $10. They purchased 10 coins, 10 whole coins at $10. That's nothing, right? That's $100 you spend, and you say, hey, leaving that there, you never know what could happen. Because there are people in the world who are pioneers like that, and they decide to take that risk and, what's $100? Let me just throw it behind this thing. It has big hopes, big dreams. It might actually work. And there are people who do that. There are people who play video games, spend your credit card money to buy game money, to unlock a player, to unlock a car. So what is sending $100 into Bitcoin, with all this hopes that it had, that it could become the currency of the world instead of fiat and so on. So people did that and they forgot it. And then we had 2017. At that time, BTC reached 19,000 something, almost to 20K, the highest it has ever seen. So imagine, as I said before, imagine the people that came in, even if they didn't catch it at $10, you caught it at $100, you caught it at $500, $1,000, you got in, you got one, you got 2 coins, 3 coins, whatever that may be. To this day, you are still in massive profits, because $50,000 from spending $1,000 is good profit. There's nothing else that gives that kind of return within the time frame that BTC has been moving upward, right? Yes, there was a period that BTC was up and then it went down. It was in a bear market and people were thinking, hey, this is it, it's no more. However, I just recognized that was just the correction to shoot up again. So when I started to really speak on Bitcoin was actually in that bear market, and it went right back down to 6,000 something, right? I think it was at 16,000. It went right back to 6,000, and people were saying, hey, you see, this isn't making sense and so on. But thankfully, to the true investors and the ones who hold on, right, with no fear, right, BTC is back, and it has definitely surpassed that 16,000 mark, and we're looking positive going forward. So I would always say, get yourself involved. Get yourself involved in Bitcoin. You do not know in the next 5-10 years what the value of this thing may be. Every 4 years they have something called a halving, and that's when they cut the production of the coins in half, right? So it becomes more and more, that scarcity effect is happening more and more every 4 years, right? And sometimes for that halving, just after the halving, you have the price of Bitcoin going up to an all new level. Our last halving was last year. And so what it's doing right now is exactly what is said about the halving. After the halving, it could be the same year of the halving, the year after, whatever, you will see more than likely a new all-time high. And so that is what we are experiencing right now, right? Amongst the other things in terms of the companies and the big investors that are coming on board. So I will encourage you, get involved. You can purchase, if you feel like it, you can find ways and means to purchase BTC. If you're looking at this and you want to reach out to me, I can actually help you out depending on the value of coins you're looking for. But you can just purchase BTC, put it in a wallet, and forget it. It's like an investment, right? It is an investment. It's not like, right? And you can just leave that there. Spend what you can afford to lose. It's an investment. All investments carry risk, right? The greater the risk, the greater the reward. But it could also be the greater the loss as well, right? But we're not thinking about that, right? We're thinking about the positive side based on analysis, based on what we've been seeing moving along. So you invest what you can afford to lose and understand that it's a risk, right? So you don't send your whole life savings and you're hoping for this thing, because when it corrects, you don't want to be getting a heart attack when you're seeing that price going down, right? Lower than what you spent. So, get some Bitcoin, keep it in a wallet. Or alternatively to that, get involved, right? I have a source. I am involved in a source. I have it two ways. I have Bitcoin separate, and I have a source that provides me more Bitcoin. So just as in the normal world, in the traditional world, if you have money, they teach you to purchase an asset and let that asset make money for you. So same way in the crypto world. You have crypto, there are means and ways in which you can let that crypto work for you and gain more, right? So I'm involved in such a system as well. If you would like that information, of course, you can reach me on my social media platforms at Leah CL Moses, whereby I can give you the information. Information is free, and you can always make a choice to grow that Bitcoin. But by all means, get involved in cryptocurrency. Get yourself some Bitcoin. Because in 10 years, if that Bitcoin price is really $500,000 and you didn't invest today upon hearing this podcast, you would have missed a lovely opportunity, right? So that was my quick podcast for the day on Bitcoin. I hope you got some value. I hope you understand a little more. I will do another podcast, probably going into the blockchain and what is blockchain technology for you, which is the system on which Bitcoin runs. I'll be getting into the facts about how Bitcoin cannot be altered. You cannot alter the transactions. It's not easy to hack into anything and just take away your coins as it is to hack into a banking system and clean out the bank. We had an experience like that with a local insurance company, right? Where hackers got in and they wiped the accounts and they had to pay a ransom to get it back, right? But there are so many things in place with Bitcoin that solves the problems that fiat had. And so that may be a next podcast. So I urge you to subscribe and follow on the different channels, because if it isn't a podcast, it might just be a YouTube video. So my YouTube channel is Leah CL Moses. So I'll see you in the next one, or you'll hear from me for the next podcast each and every Monday. Thank you for listening.